News Radio 710 Keel online at 710keel.com. Radio Pup app for your smartphone. Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty, and in studio for a while, the Public Information Officer from the Department of Transportation and Development, Ms. Cindy Dorfner, is here to talk. Aaron said during the break, I'll just get it right, you probably know more about... You never anticipated when you went to work for the state that you would be Cindy Dorfner, girl ornithologist.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like birds, so it's not something that I wanted to study up on.
So just bring us up to date. The construction company that had originally been hired,
PCL.
Thank you, Pacific Coast League. That's how I'll remember that. It's a baseball thing. Were they? You no longer have an agreement. Were they fired? Was this an amicable parting?
It was an amicable parting of ways. Over the past 16 months, there's been numerous issues that we've tried to work through. This bird issue just kind of brought everything to a head, and we decided, it's probably best if we part ways and move on.
Because why?
Well, we thought we had an agreement back in the fall for them to take care of the birds, and that agreement didn't quite make it through the spring into their...
I guess in the contract? How was it worded? What did it say that they would be responsible for doing as opposed to what they didn't do?
Well, the original contract didn't have bird mitigation in it, period. So there are things called change orders that have to happen, and this was a change order. It was you're looking at me like you have a question.
I'm wondering if who didn't know that the birds would be there if there was no bird clause in the contract?
I think there were a variety of things that happened, and this is prior to my time. But there was an environmental impact study that was done. Why they weren't noticed at that point? Maybe they weren't there. I don't know. That impact study is done out of Baton Rouge. So we were notified by an environmental consultant that we had hired to discuss a variety of things, including the paint, the lead-based paint. So the environmental consultant is the one who actually brought it up to us and said, hey, by the way, did you know about these birds?
Let's forget about the birds for now. You're going to rebid it June 8th?
Yes.
So you're on a fast track to get this done. How soon could we actually start work on the bridge now?
If it bids in June, like we hope, then there's some regulatory time in there that has to take place. So for them to get their kind of ducks in a row, and then we have a pre-construction meeting, and then they will have an assembly period. I would guess that it's going to be very similar to the initial one that PCL had of 120 days. But we're hoping before the end of the year that work will actually commence on the bridge.
You've put something in this new bid package, I'm sure, with regard to the birds.
Absolutely. That will be part of the new requirement.
How much will that raise the price? How much will that raise the price?
I don't know.
And what are you going to mandate the new company do?
Those are all things that I am not privy to. I know that bird mitigation is going to be part of the contract, but what exactly they're going to do?
And is there any kind of assurance that one bird and one egg don't get through? I
think that's part of the reason why we want to start in October, late fall, before the end of the year, so that they'll be well on their way of working on the bridge by the time the birds come back. And then,
okay. What about the purple paint color? Is that going to be secured in this new contract?
Oh, brother.
Important to me.
I heard you vote. You might have been very well instrumental in making it purple.
I only voted 100 times.
Okay, well maybe you were. As far as I know, purple is still the color.
Good.
We asked Senator Barrow Peacock when he was on last hour. I asked him, as the governmentally protected status of the barn swallows, which is odd because they are plentiful to say the least. Do you think this is government overreach by the feds? Do you think this is going a little bit too far, a little too hands-on?
I don't really have an opinion on a law that, well, that's not true. I do have an opinion, but it was a law that was made almost 100 years ago. So if it's something that needs to be readdressed, Cindy Dorfner is not the one to discuss that.
Yeah.
That's something for the lawmakers to decide if it's something that needs to be readdressed. But I will tell you that we do need to be able to work on our bridges whenever they need to be worked on. And so, if that's something that any of the lawmakers out there who are listening, they want to take up this 100-year-old law.
Or take the hint. Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you this: while lawmakers in Baton Rouge are whacking away at the budget, are you 100% confident the money to rehab this bridge will be secured still?
My secretary, Dr. Sean Wilson, said that it would. So I have no reason to not be 100%.
Is when it comes to rebid, is the $23-something million, do you think that's going to be enough? Do you think the price might just, 30 now? And any thought on that?
I really am not an expert in contract negotiations or contract bidding at all. So I really would have no idea.
Well, we look forward to seeing when y'all open those bids and see PCL won't be back, I guess. It'll be new people.
That's true. We've made an agreement with them that they won't bid on the new contract.
Sort of like me in my last 3 jobs, but we won't talk about that.
Cindy Dorfner with the Department of Transportation and Development. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.